Good morning. Here we are in the lovely mid-spring late morning on the southern tablelands, roughly almost in the middle of nowhere. Now, what we're going to be doing is, well, what I have done, I've got a 55 TEA20 Ferguson here. A few weeks ago, about 3 weeks ago, I had to take the head off and the water pump as well, because they looked like they were gone. I was losing water quite a lot. So like I say, that's been sitting there about 3 weeks. I had to wait for parts. Now, should be interesting what it looks like. I haven't looked in there since I've been here. Hasn't been raining much up here, so it should be too bad. Look at that. Okay. Cover the carburetor. I'll leave that over. Put the dust. Let's see now. Not too bad. Dry, dry, dry. Dry in there, dry in there, dry in there, dry in there. Now it's interesting, I took all this, what you can see, off, which is so open, and then the spanners, and the only one, because I didn't have no sockets with me, I couldn't take off the bonnet. But you can still take off the radiator with a bit of patience. You can move about a quarter of a turn at a time. I think so. 9/16 or 11/16 spanner. That's nice. Okay, that's a bit of a bugger. I brought sockets up with me to undo that. It's 5/8. Unfortunately, what I did, I bought it by 5/8 Whitworth. And it's too big, so I'm not going to be able to take off the bonnet, which is rather annoying. So anyway, like I say, a couple of weeks ago, about 3 weeks ago, I took it off. Found it quite easy to take off. Took the battery off, radiator, all the bits that stick on. The only thing I found hard coming off was on this side, this bolt, this one here. Was corroded. Around here there was water down there as well. This must have been where it was leaking. When I did the head, I had the head skimmed, and it looks like they were blowing across the pistons. That's as well. I was told to check to see if these are proud. Slightly proud. Very little. This side smooth. I think they're actually flush, really. So I had a bit of water down in here, radiator water. You see there's a bit of rust here. I think they were blowing. Okay, so everything went off very easily. Now, show you the parts. Okay. When I took the petrol tank off, because I was going to lay it flat, I took the glass float bowl off to stop it getting smashed. There's the exhaust. There's the exhaust manifold, cleaned it up. We cleaned up the threads on these. Battery's okay. Cleaned up the manifold. Originally on the exhaust manifold for the pipe, they would have had studs in here, but the threads were gone, so I drilled them out. Opened it up so I could put bolts through. New clamp. That's the old gaskets. New spark plugs. All the push rods in order of where they came out. This is one that was leaking as well. This has got a bit of corrosion around there. Hopefully I don't see any problem with that. Okay. The head. Had the head skimmed. Didn't touch the valves. Very well. Cleaned up all the bolts, putting all new washers on. Had to put in some new studs, manifolds, a couple of new studs they were missing, and of course half of them came out when I took them out, so cleaned up the threads and put them back in again. There's the camshaft, it's okay. Cleaned up all the head studs. New crocodile clips for all the radiators, new thermostat, cleaned up the housing, got a new pump, water pump from Bearco, along with new head gaskets, well actually another engine overhaul kit. One annoying thing with Bearco was that these head gaskets aren't stamped top, so we had to phone up a few places, and even though I knew which way the old one had come off, to make sure it'd been put on the right way, so we found out that the bit where it's got crimping around the edges, see all around here, it's just been crimped over, the copper's been crimped over, that goes to the bottom. Goes onto the block. I got these parts through White's Tractors, Goulburn. Had the engine skimmed by Goulburn Engine in Goulburn. Now this is a nice thing, I think. I took the radiator off. It was really disgusting. It was rusty, shit, grass everywhere. And it looked like it was leaking, because there seemed to be water all coming from underneath the cowling there. I took this to Lee and Thomas in Goulburn, and they cleaned it out, checked it out, and painted it for me as well. They said a lot of shit came out, and they said they weren't going to take it apart because it looked a bit too fragile, in case they couldn't put it back together again. Put new bolts, washers and springs on there, and they said it's not too bad. I got a new cap foot, radiator cap foot. Here's the petrol tank, rocker cover. These here I was going to put on stop the liners from moving if I feel like turning the radiator over, turn the pistons over. The idea was to put the washer over there, and put the bolt in, like so, and let's stop them moving up. But of course, I've still got the studs in, so I don't think I will move them actually, because there's not much carbon on these. I've had this tractor for about 3-4 years. Done a few hours, not great hours, only for slashing. This land's only really good for grazing. The soil is really bad. Okay, so say there's not much ridge there, so I think I'm going to not touch it and leave them as they are, put the head on as it is, clean it up of course first, put the studs back in, Okay, just one little thing, I'm sure everybody knows it, but right, on these head studs, you see there's a groove there. Well, even though you can't mix them up, you can't put one in because that's a fine thread and that's a coarse thread. If anyone's wondering why that groove is there, is that when you screw it in the hole there, that's a blind hole. And if there's any oil or anything like that in there, and it's a normal stud, it will stop it from bottoming out. So as you can see here, the idea of the groove is, where is it there, is that like this has some oil in the bottom there, and the groove allows the oil to be pushed out of the bottom of the stud, so the stud bottoms properly. Now the way I'm putting them in, you can buy stud tools to put things in, but this is just as good. You get two nuts, alright, screw one on, don't go right to the bottom, then screw another one on top of it, like so. Get a spanner, a shifter and a spanner, or two spanners, don't know which one, tighten them up really tight, and then put the spanner on the top, and you'll be able to turn it, and it will, make sure you put the spanner on the top, not the bottom, because you're losing the nuts again. You'll turn it, and then you'll tighten this, turn it really tight. If you've done this really tight, you'll be able to tighten this stud really tight into the block again. So next time you or someone else has to take it off, the studs will stay in place. Another thing as well, I don't know, I assume these are standard pistons because all they got is EJ1098LX on it, something like that. So I assume they're standard. Get your finger out of the way there, and I noticed that well, I assume that's number 1 piston, and number 4 piston are more carboned than 2 and 3. I don't know if that means anything. There's some reason behind that. Okay, that's all the studs in, head gasket in. Now, actually, maybe you think I go on about this too much, but through my training, I've found it's better that when you tighten these up, stop yourself from slipping or hurting yourself. The best thing to do is to put an angle like that. When you tighten up, you just squeeze them together, okay? Really tight. When you go to undo them, this is where it's more important, because sometimes when they undo it, the hand slips and you go in and smashing your hand in the same. It's to put them like that, right? And when you go to undo it, you just squeeze them together, like so, and the nuts loosen. And that'll stop you from cracking your fingers on something immobile.